Hey guys, Griffin here, and today I'm going to be talking about 5 tips for bear tanks to make them better tanks. Now, if you do all these already, you probably know that they're helpful, but also slightly helpful, but all of them together can be very beneficial to you as a bear tank to improve your threat and other skills that you need. So we're just going to start off really quick with mark the target. I've actually talked about this on other videos as well, but I just kind of want to drill it home. Marking the target is more important than it might seem at first. So like, for example, I've got 2 hungers here. I'm going to mark this one with a skull. Now, by doing that, I'm telling all the DPS that this is my main threat focus. So they know if they want to pump, they have to pump on this guy. And this guy over here, yeah, I'm going to still build threat, but not nearly as much as I am on this guy. So I'm going to try to get this 3.5, yep, 6k, and then switch. Maybe I'll put some lacerates over here. And that way he's at 6k, and then go back to this guy. But this one is always going to be my main threat. And that's a big deal. I'm going to reset this so I don't have to keep killing these guys. So definitely mark your target. It's very simple to do. Bind it, use an add-on like I do, or both. They both work. Whatever you want to do. Okay, the next one is pull with Fairy Fire, but also pull with Fairy Fire a little bit differently. So as you saw, I targeted Skull. I'm gonna mark this guy with Fairy Fire. They're both gonna come anyway. But now, because of the hesitation of the Skull mixed with the Fairy Fire, they don't the DPS kind of hesitates to do a ton of damage until Skull gets over here. So that gave me a free shot to build up threat on this first guy. So now I'm looking really good on both of these guys. So by doing that little thing, it gave the DPS a hesitation just enough that I could build more threat on them. Hope that makes sense. So yeah, just when you pull the 2 mark like this, just hit the other one with Fairy Fire. Also, it does do a little bit of threat, but that mob's going to get to you first. You get a good Maul in, or a Mangle, or whatever you want to use. I would probably use a Maul and then a Mangle on the main target. But yeah, either way, your DPS has to wait for the main target to get there, and that gives you a little bit of an edge for threat pulling. Okay. Next up is use Mangle Maul as a taunt. That's kind of what I was just mentioning, but let's say you're holding threat on these 2 guys, and you start to lose threat on this dude. I'm going to mark him with an X. So you're hitting Skull, your Elemental Shaman's just crit Chain Lightning. All of a sudden you see it turn from purple, which is the color it should be, to yellow or red. So if you save your Mangle or your Maul, or specifically your Mangle, to when you see that happen, it allows you to kind of taunt. Obviously, you can still use taunt. Taunt's a great ability, but so let me do a quick demonstration. Wait for that guy to cross the middle. Okay, so I'm hitting this guy. This guy's over here. Now the Elemental Shaman just chain hit, and I don't have enough threat on him. I just switch over, and bam, that puts a ton of extra threat on there. So instead of trying to like over spam it, just kind of use it as like a safe cooldown. Uh-oh, I'm losing it again. Bam. Stuff like that can really save you from having to chase after, because as soon as you start chasing after mobs, you've almost lost, because you're now not doing threat to anything. You're running around. It's a lot of chaos. It's just easier to use a big threat boost on your target. But I do recommend for a pull like this, just got to get some lacerates going as well, because that's continuously ticking threat that you could do. In fact, there's pulls where I'll put full 5 stacks on 2 different targets and just go back and forth, and then use the Mangle and the Maul as like a threat jump in case they're catching up to me. Really cool strategy. Doesn't work if you don't have good gear, because it does require some attack power, but very handy tip. So let's go to the next one, which is Strafe. This is kind of hard to explain, but this is strafing. Now, what most people that I know do is the A and the D key actually do this normally. They turn the screen, they turn the character. And what a lot of us do is we rebind it to strafe instead. So we do this. I know you're going to say Q and E strafe. I'm saying, what I'm telling you is remove turn. Remove this from your game. It's not helpful. You'd think it might be, but it really doesn't add enough benefit. Strafe is a lot better, because as you pull, let me show you. I can strafe, keep a target in front of me the whole time, grab more targets, and I never have to stop swinging because I'm swinging. I guess I can backpedal, but strafing allows me to run over here while still hitting targets. Strafing is just an overall better mechanic because of also the hitbox changes that it makes. I'm not going to go into that, but oh, I don't want to kill this guy. But you get the idea. Strafe. Look it up, set it up. Your A and your D key should be your strafe left, strafe right. Okay. On to my last one. And this is more because people keep asking me if I do this, and I'm worried that a lot of people do this. And to be fair, I have done this in the past, but I've went away from it. Especially, I did it in Classic. I don't do it in TBC because I think it's not beneficial. So that is binding Maul. So here's my Mangle attack. So I've got Mangle, start attack, and then what people will do is they'll also add cast Maul. I gotta spell it right probably. Maul. Okay. So what this will do is when I press this button, it's going to do this button too. And they'll go through and do all of that. So they'll go to swipe and they'll add cast Maul. So any button they press, and then last, I'm not gonna do all three because I'm just have to undo it. But any button they press will now trigger Maul. So let's demonstrate. So cool, double hit. That's really good. This seems to be working really well. Let me swipe. Yeah. Oh. Wait. Hold on. I can't mangle. I can't. Oh, that's right. Because I used all my rage on Maul. So I've mentioned this before in other videos, but the downside to Maul is that it actually takes away your rage. So Maul costs 15. On top of that, it takes away your white damage ability, which your white damage can actually give you crit. So, give you rage, not crit. If you crit though. So that makes it doubly crappy. I mean, it gives you rage no matter what, but like if you crit, you get a ton more rage. So like, see that extra. I'm gonna not use Maul. Oh, I've got it bound. It's gonna be hard to not use it. Let's just take it out of here. And I think I put it in swipe too. In Mangle, there we go. Okay. So now, I'm still gonna use swipe pretty liberally. And as you can see, my rage is no longer a problem. Yes, I can still use Maul, especially if you're over 60. You can make a weak aura that anytime you're above 60, it'll trigger a Maul. But it's also just nice to not use it. Like you can go without it completely. Yeah, we're gonna get out of here. But that's it. Those are my 5 tips. If you're not doing them, try them out, and they might help you be a stronger, better, more effective tank. Thanks, and take care, guys.